Welcome back to Branuksa Media Center, and today we are on episode 4 of season 1 of African Legends, and we look the life of Wangari Maathai. Please subscribe to our channel as we move forward to bring you a quality content. Thank you. Wangari Maathai was a Kenyan social, environmental and political activist and the first African woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize. She founded the Green Belt movement in 1977, an environmental non-governmental organization focused on tree planting, environmental conservation and women's rights. Wangari Maathai was born on 1st April 1940 in Ihithe village of Nyeri district in central Kenya. In 1947, a family moved to a place near Nakuru Rift Valley to a white-owned farm where her father found work. Late in 1947, she returned to Ihithe village with her mother and two brothers to attend primary school since there was no schooling available on the farm. At age of 8, she started schooling at Ihithe Primary School, and at age of 11, she moved to St. Cecilia's Intermediate Primary School, a boarding school at Maathai Catholic Mission in Nyeri. Studying at St. Cecilia's was a shelter from ongoing Mau uprising, which forced her mother to move from their homestead to an emergency village in Ihithe. She completed her studies in St. Cecilia's in 1956 and was rated the first in her class. She was granted admission to Loreto High School in Limuru, the only Catholic high school for girls. In 1960, she was one of the 300 Kenyans selected to study in the United States through program of Joseph P. Kennedy Jr. or the Kennedy Airlift, founded by the then Senator of the U.S., John F. Kennedy, through a proposal made by the Kenyan politicians such as Tom Mboya. She received a scholarship to study at Mount St. Scholastica College, now Benedict College in Atchison, Kansas. She majored in biology with minor chemistry and German. She received a Bachelor of Science degree in 1964. She started to study for a master's degree in biology at the University of Pittsburgh, founded by African American Institute. She first experienced environmental restoration when local environmentalists pushed to the rid for the city of air pollution. In 1966, she received a master's degree in biological sciences and was appointed to a position as research assistant to a professor of zoology at the University College of Nairobi, but her job was taken by someone else. After a 2-month job search, Professor Reinhold Ottmann from the University of Gießen in Germany offered her a job as the research assistant in microanatomy of the Department of Veterinary Anatomy in the School of Veterinary Medicine at the University College of Nairobi. In 1967, she traveled to the University of Gießen, Germany in pursuit of a doctorate. She studied at both Gießen and the University of Munich. She returned to Nairobi in 1969 to continue studies at the University College of Nairobi as an assistant lecturer, and in May 1969, she married Wangari Maathai. Her firstborn son Waweru was born in 1970. In 1971, she became the first East African woman to receive a PhD from the University College of Nairobi, which became the University of Nairobi in 1972. Her daughter Wajira was born in December 1971. Wangari Maathai continued to teach at the University of Nairobi, becoming a senior lecturer in anatomy in 1975, chair of the Department of Anatomy in 1976, and associate professor in 1977, becoming the first woman in Nairobi appointed to any of these positions. She campaigned for equal benefit for the women working on the university. Maathai became involved in a number of civic organizations in 1970s and a member of Kenyan Red Cross Society, becoming its director in 1973. She became a member and board chair of Environmental Liaison Center in 1974 that worked to promote the participation of non-governmental organizations in the work of UNEP, United Nations Environmental Programme, whose headquarters was established in Nairobi. Maathai also joined National Council of Women of Kenya, NCWK. In 1974, a third child, Muta, was born. Our first tree nursery was in Karura Forest, co-located with the government tree nursery. Through conversation concerning EnviroCare and her work at Environmental Liaison Center, UNEP sent Maathai to the first UN conference on human settlements known as Habitat 1 in June 1976. In 1977, Maathai spoke to NCWK concerning her attendance of Habitat 1. The council supported a proposal of further tree planting, and during World Environmental Day on 5th June 1977, the NCWK marched from KICC to Kamkuji Park, planted 7 trees in honor of historical community leaders. This was the first event of the Green Belt movement, encouraging women to plant trees. Maathai and her husband Mwangi Maathai separated in 1977, and in 1979, Mwangi filed for divorce, later divorced. Shortly after the trial, Maathai referred to the judge as either incompetent or corrupt in interview with Viva magazine, which later led to the judge to charge Maathai with contempt of the court. Was found guilty and was sentenced to 6 months in Lang'ata Women Prison in Nairobi, but a lawyer formulated a statement which the court found sufficient for a release 3 days later. Her ex-husband demanded Maathai drop the name Maathai, but she chose to add an extra A instead of changing her name. Maathai lost the position of chairperson of NCWK in 1979 by 3 votes only, and was chosen to be a vice chair. She was elected and opposed the following year after a group, Maendeleo ya Wanawake, withdrew from SCWK. However, it did not receive majority of funding, therefore becoming bankrupt. She was re-elected every year as chairperson till 1989, when she retired from the position. In 1982, she decided to campaign for parliamentary seat of Nyeri, and as required by the law, she resigned from her position with the University of Nairobi. She did not run for the position since the court found that she did not re-register for presidential election in 1979. In 1986, with funding from UNEP, the Green Belt movement expanded and led to the foundation of the Pan-African Green Belt Network. In the late 1980s, Wangari protested largely against the government. She was forced by the government to vacate her office, and the Green Belt movement was moved to her home. In 1999, she received the Goldman Environmental Prize in San Francisco and Hunger Project Africa Prize for Leadership in London. On 7th March 2001, Maathai was arrested again following a protest against the government to take public forest land and give to its supporters. She was released the following day following international and popular protest at her arrest. On June 7, 2001, she was arrested again shortly after planting trees at the Freedom Corner in Uhuru Park, Nairobi, to commemorate the Sabasaba Day. She was released later that day without being charged. Maathai again campaigned for Tetu parliamentary seat as a candidate for National Rainbow Coalition in 2002. She won with an overwhelming 98% of the vote. From January 2003 to November 2005, she served as an Assistant Minister for Environmental and National Resources of Kenya. In 2004, she was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for her contribution to sustainable development, democracy, and peace, becoming the first African woman to win the prestigious award. On 28 March 2005, Maathai was elected the first president of the African Union Economic, Social and Cultural Council and became ambassador for initiative aimed in protecting Congo Basin forest ecosystem. On 21st May 2006, she was awarded an honorary doctorate at Connecticut College. Maathai was defeated in December 2007 parliamentary seat. She served on the Eminent Advisory Board of the Associate of European Parliamentaries with Africa until her death. She died on 25th September 2011 of complications arising from ovarian cancer at Nairobi Hospital. Her remains were cremated and buried at Wangari Maathai Institute for Peace and Environmental Studies in Nairobi.